Hey guys, Mars Engin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be looking at the god himself. Of course, that is what his name literally means. We have the physical Kami here from the World Tournament, who has his EZA now, thanks to the latest World Tournament on Global. This guy is a big meme unit. When it came down to seeing like who people wanted to see the most for the World Tournament showcases, Kami was the one that got requested the most, probably just because of the meme. I think out of all the EZAs for this particular World Tournament, he's the worst one. Although it could be the physical Super Buu. I haven't done his showcase yet, so I guess we'll find out once we get around to that. But he's an all types leader for 3 key and 70% to stats, which, I mean, may be useful for battlefield, link leveling. Not really much outside of that, to be honest. His super attack is the Dragon Light Bullet. Causes supreme damage to the enemy, lowers attack, and greatly lowers defense. So he doesn't raise attack or defense on super, which is kind of awkward. Very rare that we see units like in this sort of day and age that don't have those kind of super attack effects. And his passive is attack and defense 100%. He gets additional attack 100% when performing a super, so still no additional defense for some reason. He then gives all allies 2 key and attack and defense 25%, plus an additional key +1 and attack and defense 10% for Earthbred fighters or gifted warriors category allies. He has a medium chance to dodge, so that's 30%. And then he has an additional chance to dodge, 30%, before attacking. And then he recovers 50% HP when HP is 30% or less. So the confusing thing about the design for this character is that he gets extra dodge if you're putting him in slot 1, or technically against AoEs, because it's before he attacks. But he has no defense. He has 86k defense. So in what situation, realistically, are you putting him in slot 1? Now, obviously, I gave mine a full dodge build because we just need him to dodge as much as possible. We've got the Demon King Piccolo on rotation with him. They share a few links here. Someone asked about this in the stream earlier. Strength in Unity is a link that you don't see very often. Key 2 and recovers 3% HP. And it literally is only had by some Piccolo Juniors. Even the Dokkan Fest Piccolo Junior doesn't actually have it, looking at this. Which is pretty funny. So yeah, pretty interesting link. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what this guy can do. So remember, after we super, that we're going to go back down to only having a 30% chance to dodge. We don't get any defense on super at all. So what we see for his defense is what we get. So he's at 86k. He's not like one of these characters that, you know, after he supers, which we can't see because we can't look at the team menu. He's not one of these characters that, like, after he supers, suddenly he has a bunch of extra defense, so it's not as bad. But hey, look, there's the dodge. So UI Kami kicking in straight away. Was it 2.9 million? So the confusing thing about this unit is kind of, it's like, what is he for? Because he's a support unit, essentially. Mine is Rainbow, a link level 10. He's a support unit, so in theory, you're going to be using him, like, I guess on this team, or, I mean, Dragon Ball, he doesn't have a single 200% leader, by the way. So you're going to be using him as a floating support unit, I guess. But if he's floating, then unless you're fighting a boss with an AoE, then he's not going to be getting attacked before he attacks. So that extra 30% dodge chance isn't really ever going to come in handy. And then if you are putting him in slot 1, or you're fighting a boss that does AoEs, we saw there he has 86k defense start of turn. Which means if we're fighting Fusion Zamasu in the red zone, now obviously Kami has type advantage over him because he's physical, but Fusion Zamasu's AoE does like 500k damage. So if Kami doesn't dodge, obviously some of that will be cut off by him being physical, but then some extra is kind of added because it's extreme versus super class. So he's still going to be taking, if he doesn't dodge, he's potentially still going to be taking somewhere between like 300 and 400k damage. So like, why would you risk putting him in slot 1? 60% chance to dodge is still pretty good, of course. Like, for example, here we have type advantage. So we've got the defense carrying over from the previous turn from Bulma's support, and we have this Krillin on the rotation who supports DB Saga. So he has 111k defense start of turn on this turn. So let's go ahead and do this. We're in slot 1, so we have 60% chance to dodge. Yeah, Limit Breaker second form Cell versus Ultra Instinct Kami. Let's see, shall we? And he's going to super straight away, and there's the dodge. You know, unironically, as bad as he is, thinking about it realistically, I mean, RNG is RNG at the end of the day, but we could realistically go through this entire showcase, and he could actually dodge, like, every single attack. And then, therefore, if you think about it, like, technically would end up actually looking kind of good. But the problem is what happens if he doesn't dodge. It's like the AGL UI Goku in the current difficulty level meta kind of problem, where it's all well and good if you have a 70% chance to dodge. He's going to dodge a lot of the time. But then when he doesn't, he gets absolutely destroyed. And that is going to be the problem with Kami if he's not dodging. Yeah, watch Kami dodge everything. I mean, he unironically might. I mean, 60% in slot 1, and then mine has 20% dodge. Those don't stack, because he has level 20 dodge. So it's a 60% chance that will get rolled for, and then if that fails, then it's a 20% chance to dodge that gets rolled for. And then, obviously, if both of those fail, then he doesn't dodge and he gets hit. And that's when you'll be in trouble, because even with that turn, we had the Bulma support carrying over from the previous turn and the support from that Krillin, and he was at 110k defense, which again, like, difficult events in the game, he's still going to be getting hit with normals for like 300k or more, because that's, you know, not even considering Zamasu, who has type disadvantage against him. Like, type neutral tough bosses are going to be hitting him for like 300 to 400k with normal attacks. So yeah, it's a very, I don't know if they just didn't care when it came to the EZAs for the Dragon Ball Saga characters when it came to the World Tournament, because some of the World Tournament EZAs have been decent since they started doing them. But like, I feel like the Dragon Ball Saga ones have been kind of all over the place. Like, we got the Tech Demon King Piccolo last time, who's okay if you're running a full extreme team. Is he actually just going to... Okay, I mean, I guess here we go. But now, unfortunately, he has attacks after he attacks. His attack stat is obviously nothing to get excited about. Well, he actually is dodging literally everything. Yeah, Tech Demon King Piccolo is decent. The Int Demon King Piccolo is okay. He has that sort of weird mechanic where he hits the enemy with his super and then he has damage reduction against them. So that's okay as well. But yeah, very strange. I mean, again, UI Kami, like, actually coming in clutch and dodging every single attack. It's unusual to see. Like, remember, the number of times UI Goku or somebody with a 70% chance to dodge doesn't dodge. And then we've got Kami over here with the 60% and he's just dodging literally everything. Alright, so do this, and then do this. Stop ignoring the greatness of Kami. I mean, the fact that he, to be fair, like, the fact that after supering, he drops down to having a 30% chance to dodge, and still dodged all 3 attacks after his super went off, is pretty funny. Because, like, imagine, again, I mean, it's going that way so far. Imagine if he actually dodges every single attack in this video. It's kind of hard to, like, if we got to the end of the run and he'd actually dodged every single attack, I guess you think about it, it'd be kind of hard to actually call him bad, because he wasn't doing a lot of damage himself, but he's providing support to the team, and didn't take any damage. Like, I mean, you can't really argue with that, but definitely not what I was expecting. But I mean, the problem is going to be, is he going to be able to keep that level of performance when we get to like the physical buff cell, who will basically one shot if we don't dodge. So all right, so we got Bulma here. We can get the support for her easily enough. Just doing this. And then Kami, I mean, we've got his best rotation with his best link partner. He's hitting 3.3 million without extra support on the rotation. And he gets a little bit of extra attack on Super. Oh, there we go. 251k. And then there's another 2 dodges. So he's dodged every single attack except one. But the normal attack that he didn't dodge on that turn did 250k. And then the Int Demon King Piccolo. He tanked a super for less than Kami took from a normal attack. That's certainly very interesting. Do you live... Actually, if we get the orbs for the Kid Gokus, Android 8 tanks the super from Buff Cell here, doesn't he? Because if we get 7 orbs for both Gokus, we have more than enough damage reduction. Because he has his own damage reduction as well. So he should tank this? This cell literally always supers in slot 1. Yeah, double digit damage. Nice. Kami would dodge. I mean, Kami dodged everything except for 1 attack so far. So that's already pretty good compared to what I was expecting. Especially when, like I say, you lose half of that dodge chance after he attacks. So normally, if you have a unit who's not got very good defense, and then they only have a 30% chance to dodge, you're not going to realistically be relying on them to actually dodge attacks. So it's kind of funny that he has actually been dodging. But now this will be the funniest test, is we're going to be beating this phase now here with this Kid Goku. So we'll be in the final phase, which is STR. So Kami has type disadvantage. And there's an attack in slot 1. So what is he looking like here? 97k defense start of turn. So we'll grab this. Can't get the Dokkan attack this turn, sadly. But we'll do that. And then let's see how we go. Oh, see, that's with the 60% chance, and he didn't dodge. 450k. And now he has less dodge chance than that. So there you go. That's a more realistic showing of what I expected, right? So there you go. That's physical Kami with his EZA. Unironically did kind of well in the stages leading up to this, but then he sold at the end, which is unfortunately what is most likely to happen in the more difficult content. But as I said at the beginning, like, he doesn't have a 200% team, so he's already at a bit of a disadvantage there. He doesn't have the best links. All of his link partners are like Demon King Piccolo or Piccolo Jr., like a bunch of other DB Saga cards from that World Tournament banner. So he's kind of like set up for failure right from the start, to be fair. But yeah, it's mind-boggling, his design, right? He wants to be in slot 1. He's got no defense start of turn. Doesn't get any extra defense when he supers, either from his super attack effect or his passive. So on any of the teams that you could run him on, there's even that like Int Krillin that we bought. Like, he's a farmable free-to-play unit, and he's better than this guy. And he doesn't have an EZA. So yeah, not really sure what they were doing with this guy. He's pretty terrible. I guess the meme will live on. But, I mean, the beginning part was funny, that he actually dodged a bunch of attacks. But as soon as we got to the round where it actually mattered, he just completely sold us out. So, there you go. That is the physical EZA Kami from the World Tournament. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Is he the worst out of this batch of EZAs? Is he the worst of all the World Tournament EZAs? I'm not really sure. There's been some dodgy ones so far. Maybe it is him, but let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.